Everyone, this is part 4 of 5 of my 3+ hour interview with John Skelton. Again, I uploaded the video in its entirety with timestamps. If you want to go check that out, I'll link it down below. But to make it a little bit more consumable, I've broken it into 5 parts as well. In this part 4 of 5, we talk about the 30% consistency rule, how there is no more flipping, the safety net reintroduction, a little bit about scaling on the performance accounts. We go over a quick overview of the changes discussed so far, so that would also include from previous sections of the video. And then lastly, we also get into the risk reward of being 5-1. Enjoy part 4 of 5 of my talk with John Skelton.
Consistency rule, the 30% rule,
Yeah.
which is when you're going to request a payout, make sure that one day your profit balance.
Oh.
Now, some people just don't like that to begin with. You're like, that's ridiculous, and I should be able to do it. It's there for a reason. It's there to promote consistent, ongoing day-to-day trading. It's also there to cut down on all these windfall, gamble, big trade things. Okay.
Right.
We talked about making that 40%. So like right now it's 30%, but it's not a hard and fast rule. If you had more than 30% one day, but we can see that, you're trading consistently after, then we won't enforce it. But we might wait. That's a gray. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's open to interpretation of, well, you think you were trading consistent afterward, but I don't. That's trouble. That's asking for trouble. We talked about saying, okay, maybe we'll raise it up to 35 or 40 and just make it a hard and fast rule. It doesn't matter. If you're over 40, it's going to be denied. Don't even not a question. Then we actually considered well, if they don't want us to lower the number of contracts, or if they don't want us to there's some companies doing 20% now or 25% hard and fast. Where I landed on that is it's staying at 30 where it was, a hard and fast rule. Not a, well, it's not in 4. We'll look at it's 30%. Period. Keep it simple. Now, some people are going to have a fit about that. Some people aren't. Some of these things with this program, some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people this is our program. This is Apex. There's a reason we're doing some of this, and you'll understand some more as we go through it. But it's 30% hard and fast. No, maybe not. We'll look. It's just 30%. When we had 1st through 5th, 15th through 20th.
Yeah.
1st through 5th. If by the 5th, okay, I had a big day there because I caught a nice runner, and I'm a few $100 over on that 30% day. Damn it. Now I got to wait 2 more weeks to even request again. And then it'll probably take another week and a half. You're like, this stupid 30% rule just screwed me up by 3.5 weeks getting a payout. Now that's not the case. You can request, you don't have to wait. You can request after your 8th day. If you're a little over on the 30%, trade a couple of days, get those few $100 and just submit the request. It's not near as big of a deal to have to get your account balance up a little more for that one day is not 30%, because it's not screwing you by weeks. It's just a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay. And it keeps that rule in place for helping to ward off some of those, scam scheme, windfalls, erratic trading, gambling, and it forces ongoing, consistent, day-to-day disciplined trading, which is what we want and what traders need to do.
Flipping, word on the street, no flipping rule anymore.
Yeah. So a couple things. So yeah, no longer 10 days, only 8 days.
Yep.
There's no more flipping rule. Flipping rule's gone. If you have 8 days and at least 5 of them are $100 profit, I don't care what you did the other days.
Okay.
Why are you saying $100 profit those days? Just to keep consistent trading, handle that flip issue, and also Some of that did have some bigger days, and then the next payout, I'm just going to press buttons for the next 8 days and that lump sum. Keep trading. That's it.
Mhm.
We're not saying all these days at $250 into 8 trading days, at least five of them $100 up. Why didn't we do more? Well, some of these people are micro traders,
Right. Yeah.
and I'm not trying to alienate them and make it so hard for them. But
Hmm.
so no more payout periods. Um, the 8 days total,
Hmm.
$100. Can't have a day over 30%.
Huh.
Safety net is going to be required to be left in the account moving forward. Okay. Some
Okay.
people don't have a problem with that. Some people will have a problem with that.
Hmm.
But safety net meaning you're trailing. So if you have a $50,000 account, you know that you got to get it up to 52.6 for your trail to stop moving. Your trail will be at 50,100.
Hmm.
Okay. Safety net has to stay in the account. You can withdraw over the 52.6.
Okay.
Why are we doing safety net? Well, it's really not hard to understand. I mean, we've gone through that whole list of the differences of Apex to everyone else. We didn't have safety net before. We didn't have the crazy scaling and the caps and the 20 accounts and all that. But also, we've talked about this in the past. It would shock you maybe, um, how after a payout period, how many accounts are blown the next day.
Mm.
Because people get to 52.6, they take out 2 grand, they
Yeah.
have $500 left, and they blow their account.
Yeah.
Also, that's been a big part of some of the scam schemes, working the system, whatever, is
Mhm.
just getting that to that bare minimum real quick and taking that one withdrawal and killing the account and getting the other one. This does look, we had to make a choice, right?
Yeah.
Something I've got to crack down a little bit on. Okay, you can't have 20 accounts, you can only have 10. You can't do all these contracts, you can only do a few. And you got to have a safety net. And we're going to do crazy scaling. And we're going to do this. And no more one day to pass. And no more that. I didn't want to do all that. I
Yeah.
didn't want, and we're not going to do any more discounts. We're going to raise the price. I didn't want to do all that.
Right.
I had to do something. I didn't want to do all of it. But everything we are trying to put into the new program is about, okay, what can we do here that does help protect Apex, protect the traders, protect against the bad element, but help set up traders for the long term to do it right.
Oh.
And one of the biggest problems is risk management and building an account, compounding an account, building a cushion to where you're setting yourself up to have room in the account and be able to not just take that one withdrawal and kill it and have to start over and buy new evals and pay resets and but to keep taking continual payouts from these accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know, if the safety net and pretty much every company out there has a safety net. This is not some crazy shocker.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
Everyone has it, and they have it there for a reason. Which again is another big reason some of them to get hit with this. But for example, the 50K account. If the 52.6 is your safety net, you can only withdraw above the 52.6. So you've
Mm-hmm.
got that $2,500 of cushion in there
Yep.
that you worked for as a trader, that you built up. So let's talk for a minute here. You got $2,500 there. Are you going to go in on the next trade and just open the trade up and let it go $2,500 against you and you don't care? Just blow the whole thing? Because that's what you were doing before.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a new eval and had $2,500 or a new PA and had $2,500. You didn't care to blow that and let that go against you. It only cost you whatever money. Now you got some skin in the game. Changes things around a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Causes second guess some things, to have a little better risk management, to think longer term. It really changes the whole scenario here of getting rid of a lot of these problems, but actually setting up the trader for good habits and long term. Scaling.
Yes.
Some people know what scaling is. So most companies that have scaling, that means when you start in a PA account, what the most popular company scaling is your day one trading in the PA, you can only do 2 contracts from like when you're starting at 0. And then once you make 1,500 of profit, I think it goes up to 3 contracts like the next day. Then once you get to 2,000, I think it goes to 4.
Maybe, yeah, it's something like that.
2,500, then you could do 5. Like the max you can do is 5 in their 50K account. So what is that there for? What does that accomplish for some of these other companies with that type of scaling? Well, I've showed you pictures of screenshots, right? Of somebody day one in a PA account. And the equity curve looks like this. Boom. Because they went in with all their contracts, max, windfall, gaming it, just trying to have big days. And if they blew it, oh, well, I'll just get another one. Oh, well, I'll just get another one. Boom. Oh, had a big day. Made a bunch of money this first day, got past that trillion threshold. Now I'm just going to barely trade. And that creates some bad habits. It creates contracted consistency issues, all kind of stuff. So scaling on that level of just starting with 2, the first $1,500, you don't have that ability to go in and max windfall, max gamble, max just go crazy. You have to actually kind of trade to get there. Then you get a little higher and then they give you another one. You get a little higher and they give you another one. Right?
Yep.
Imagine how much of the drama that cuts out when it comes to scam schemes, working the system, taking advantage of the system, gambling, windfall. That cuts out a lot of problems.
Yeah.
That we did face there. Now, I personally think it's a little too much. I don't want to be that. And by the way, once you, like I said, once you work through all those levels, like on a 50K with them, you get 5 contracts. We give you 10 to start.
Yep.
Like we offer double the contracts. That's part of the issue. So there will be a call it the Apex scaling plan, which is very simple. Very simple. Half contracts until you reach your safety net. So you got a 50K account, you can do 10 contracts, right? You can only do 5 contracts. Until you get to that 52.6. That way you're taking it a little slower, a little less contracts, a little less likely to go overboard, over risk, over leverage, blow your account, get to that safety net. That safety net gets you past the trailing stop. It gets you to the point of now you can build balance for payout request. Now you built yourself a cushion there. Now you can do full contracts of 10.
Simple.
Now, we don't program it in. We don't block you, because that's the other problem with some of these other companies is, okay, I start off with 2 till I make $1,500. Well, I made $1,500 in 2 hours. Now I can do 3. Nope.
No.
Wait till tonight. When it updates to show that, then their system will unlock that there the next day.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait in the next day. And then guess what happens when you finally make it through? You got $2,500 in the account and you go pull out half of it. I'm going to take a $1,200 payout. Gotcha. Now you're back down at 1,200. Under the 1,500, you're back to 2 contracts.
Yeah.
And you got to start all over. We're not going to do that to you. Okay. Like when you get the PA account, the 10 is there and the 10 is available, but don't do it.
Yeah.
Only do 5 till you get to the trailing, threshold, past that, get the safety net, then you do 10. Now look, I don't want no drama here. Don't be posted on Facebook. Don't be emailing me, and don't be help desk ticketing. Oh my God, I wasn't paying attention, and I was supposed to only do 5, and I did 6 because I did this. And are you going to deny me? Are you going to stop? Okay. You can keep track of your contracts. Okay.
Yeah.
We should be able to trust you you have available to do 10, just only do 5. I got a 15-year-old that's in driving school and her permit about to be 16. Her car will go to 160. But I'm going to need to trust her, a 16-year-old teenager, to only do 55 or whatever the speed limit is. If I could trust my 16-year-old with that, I should be able to trust you with keep track of your contracts. Like it's one of the most
Yeah.
important things you should be doing. Like
Hmm.
I've got 10 available. I can only do 5. Mistakes happen. Oh my God, I accidentally did 6 or 7. Are you going to close my account and discard? No, if you realize you went over, just close it out. Close those 2 out.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's not a big deal. All right. This is not a, oh, they're not locking it down because they hope we hit 6 and they're going to kill my, I don't give a crap about you went over 1. Okay. Or you forgot 1. Just close it out. Now, if I see every single day you haven't hit your threshold and you're doing 80, 90% all the time, all day, just to
Hmm.
say, well, I never did 100%. Okay, you're working the system, you're not following the rules.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not a mind reader, so I can't make a judgment on your motives or your intent. You
Hmm.
meant to do this. You did this on purpose. You did this intentionally. I technically can't say that I know that, but I'm sorry. I've looked at enough reports. I know when it's, oh, randomly, Chris pressed an extra button. He's like, oh, crap. I was entering lots of 2, and I did 2 or
Hmm.
6. Oh, crap. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when you're constantly doing 9 every time or 8 every time and say, no, come on, like, just don't do it. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, here's the difference though. When you get to that 52.6, as an example, and your
Hmm.
trailing threshold stops,
Hmm.
right? It no longer follows you. You can do 10.
Well,
Your balance comes under 52.6, you can still do 10. We're not going to do like they do. And oh, now you're up, now you're down. Get
hmm.
your trail to stop.
Okay.
Then you can do the 10. If you fall back under the 52.6, I don't care. Here's the problem. Oh, the trailing threshold sucks. It's following your trade.
Yeah.
And when your trade pulls back, people aren't locking it in and protecting their profit. And you know why it hits them so quick? Max contracts.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have near the problem if you're only doing half until you're past that and it stops, then you're good. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. It's very, if anything, it's nice and simple and clear. Yeah.
Just get past it. So,
Yeah.
yes, safety net required for the withdrawal side. Uh, Scaling, only do half contracts till you reach the threshold and your trailing stops, then you do full contracts.
Nice.
Okay. Those couple things there actually make a huge difference for us in the risk protection and combating a lot of this drama.
I bet.
And both of those things, I know there's some people who are going to say this is total BS and John's just making all this crap up. You can think what you want. I can't change your mind. But both of those things actually can work in favor for the trader, setting them up for longer term success and for
Hmm.
less chance of blowing that brand new PA so quick
Yeah.
because of max contracts with the trailing. These are set to actually work in your favor for long term setup. May not work in your favor for your quick. I want the quickest payout and work this. No,
Hmm.
but it works the quickest for setting up the trader properly. Again, we had this whole list of Apex made a lot of things real easy, created some problems. So what do you want me to do? I'd either get rid of the 20 accounts, get rid of the contracts, raise your price, do this, do this. The things I've tried to figure out to do, instead of having to change all of it, I wanted to also make sure they were things that helped with the potentially set up a trader for a better chance of longer term success and less blowing of accounts.
Personally think it's more than fair. And like you said, I'm much more on, I come from the old school in quotes of, yeah, the goal is to grow and become a good trader and move to life. So
So let's just do a quick review here.
yeah.
No more payout request periods.
Hmm.
At 10 days, only 8.
Yep.
5 of those, $100. 30, no more flipping rule, gone.
Hmm.
30% rule is still there. Hard and fast. That is a change. It's not a, well, hard and fast.
Yeah.
You go to request. If there's one day over 30%, it's a no.
Oh.
Um, Safety net required. You can withdraw above the safety net.
Oh.
Uh, Scaling, half contracts until safety net. Okay.
Okay.
Some people with the scaling or some people with the safety net are going to throw a fit. Some people, I don't care. Some people mixed. So two things in there you may not like,
Huh.
but I think everybody loves the super fast payouts we've been doing, super fast deposits we've been doing. No more request periods, no more 10 days. It's only 8. Balancing you out there as much as possible. I've told you for months, I want to make this quicker, faster, easier on these things, but I've got to do something. And the things I want to do, again, were to set up better. Over the months, as I've gone through all of this and thought through all of this and what to do, I've had some good long conversations with some people and even with you, Chris. A trader's number one job, and I know I said this the other day, it was more about, a trader's number one focus, meaning the retail day trading industry is it was called a triple 90 business, meaning 90%. And this is not about Apex or prop fund or funding. No, just trading in general. The retail day trading business, it's triple 90 business. 90% of new day traders will lose 90% of their money in their first 90 days. Look it up. That's how it works. More will lose after that. That's this industry, period. So think about that for a minute. You've chosen to get into a business where 90% of people fail and 90% of people lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. That's a pretty ballsy move. That's a pretty crazy industry to get into, right?
Yeah.
So you know this. Your number one thought in your head should be why? What do the 90 do? What do the 10% do? Because I want to do what the 10% do. Your number one first goal as a new retail day trader should be to figure out what the 10% are doing and do that, and to get through your first 90 days. Get to day 91. So that you're not a statistic. That should be your main focus, get to day 91. Problem is, it's not people's main focus. Their main focus is going to be to get to what did I just say? Day 8.
Yeah.
To get that payout. Instead of thinking a little longer term. Okay. So that's what a trader's first main goal should be. What a trader's first main job is to manage risk. That's it. Don't believe a word I say, go online. Research it, Google it, look at the best top traders. Look at it. Trading is about risk management. That's it. Are you managing risk? Are you taking good risk reward ratios? Do you have a good system? Are you protecting your profits? Are you not letting the whole market go? Okay. It's all about risk management. If I want to put you into a live money account, I want to know that you can manage the risk and not blow my whole account. You'd want the same, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about some things. DCA.
Yes.
Talked about it earlier. Was the concept and general strategy of DCA the problem? No, it wasn't. It was the problem. Oh, I enter and it goes negative against me. Oh, don't enter again. That wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
Problem, there's a way to, we're just going to call it DCA. There's a way to DCA and do it properly that makes sense. That's a real strategy with good reason of entering certain places. The problem was just randomly entering with no stop, using the whole account and letting it blow, right?
Absolutely.
That was the problem. What's the problem with some of these morning open trades that are just not using a stop, letting the market go all the way crazy against you and hoping it comes down and you make just a little bit. And the next day, just hope you make a little bit. Or some of the other trades we've showed where, you no stop and use the whole account and it comes back against you and you make a little bit. but then you blow the whole thing. Or what about martingaling? Everybody knows what martingaling is, right? Like, I was in on a trade and I lost $200. My risk is $200. Okay, I lost on this one. So on the next one, I'm going to try to make, I'm going to double my risk to try to make that back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Double it again. You do that a couple of times, you lose it all.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
It doesn't work. What about news trading? Well, the biggest thing about news trading is don't go long in one account and short in the other account. Can't do that.
Yeah.
The other thing about news trading is somebody's chasing the market, or that it's random luck. Also, the thing is you chase that news and it zips this way and zips that way. And some of these bracket trading, placing a limit order on one side and a limit on the other side. I have no idea which way it's going to go. I don't have a strategy or system. I'm just hoping it moves. So I'm going to throw one here and one here. It's not really trading, right? Not really a strategy or system. But the bad thing about it is half the time your breakouts are fake. And it gets you in that trade, and then it zips and kills that one, then gets this one, kills all over the place. All of those scenarios there, it's about managing risk, And the other big thing we see, and you might have seen it recently, people say, oh, why did I get a payout denial saying improper risk management? Well, I showed an example of it the other day to where all day long, every trade, I can show on the report here that you're going to have. The market went against you $2,500 negative. You let it come back and you got out at 102 profit. The next one, you let it go $2,200 against you. It came back, you got out at 107. You're risking $2,500 to make one. Well, our old rule said don't go more than 4 to 1. You're going 25 to 1. And then bitching on Facebook saying, I didn't break a rule. I traded all 10 days and never DCA'd. That risk management's out of control.
Yeah.
You would never do that in your own live account. Yeah. You're only doing that because it's not live money and you'll just buy another one. That's gaming a system. I have no idea if I can put you in live money you could trade.
Yeah.
Everything's about risk management. So, new rule. Forget the 3 to 1 or 4 to 1. Now, some people, I'm saying 4 to 1. Some people like to say 1 to 4. Simple. If you're trying to make $100 profit, don't let the market go more than 400 against you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Changing that to 5 to 1. Okay. Upping it for you. Your strategy or system historically makes $100. Then don't risk or lose more than $500 on average. This is not per trade, per day. If I'm looking at it over a few days, like, if you know you're going for $100, if you know $100 is your trajectory, don't let it go more than $500 against you, or it's bad risk management and it's not following the. Okay, run the numbers on that. Even allowing 5 to 1 is outrageous. Okay, but 5 to 1, looking at it as an average. I'm not going to look at every single trade. System, we'll look at an average. And then here's this.